So this is another video for Spartan Society to the Battle of Leuctra, and we're looking at religion, death and burial. This video is on the myths and legends, focusing on the Dioscuri. If we have a look at the syllabus here, it's the second dot point down, myths and legends of the Spartiates, and it gives us two here that we must talk about in a response. Lycurgus, who we've already mentioned, who was probably a myth or could potentially have been a god, we don't know, and the Dioscuri themselves, who we'll speak about in a moment. There are other myths and legends of Sparta, including Helen and Menelaus, and also Heracles. There are plenty, but for this video, we're only focusing on the Dioscuri. And if you get a response asking about myths and legends, then the two you must talk about are Lycurgus and the Dioscuri. So the Dioscuri, they were twin demigods, which means they were born of a god and a mortal person. And the god in this case was Zeus, and the mortal woman was a woman named Leda. And their names are Castor and Pollux, and Pollux also goes by the name Polydeuces, and you can see them depicted there. The story goes that Leda was seduced by Zeus, who had taken the form of a swan, and as a result, from the swan laid two eggs, and from those two eggs came the two twins, Castor and Pollux. In terms of their relationship to Sparta, they were quite significant in Spartan mythology because they were seen as the protectors of the two kings, and they were twin gods, and Sparta had twin kings, so there's a relationship there, and there was that kind of special affinity with the kings. And the story goes that they took turns in protecting Sparta, so one would stay here in this image there on Mount Olympus with all the other gods, and the other one would reside down at Therapne at Sparta itself, watching over Sparta, and then they would take turns and swap over. In terms of their attributes, they're probably the reasons why they were associated with Sparta is because of these attributes that they had, including the ability to help those in peril in battle. So if you were in peril in the middle of a battle, then you could hope for the intercession of the Dioscuri to come and swoop in and help you. They were also associated with athletic contests, which we know Sparta was quite renowned for, according to Pindar. They are associated with this as the starters of races, so they would be acknowledged at the start of races, and there was a statue of them at the beginning of the Dromos, which is the racetrack at Sparta, often depicted at nude, which highlighted their heroic attributes, so to speak. So that's the Dioscuri. We do need to know a little bit more depth than that, but the rest of that's in the iBook, and we do need to be mindful that there are other myths and legends that we do need to know, but Dioscuri, Lycurgus, they're the two that must be included in a response on myths and legends.